Ollie, before we get onto the cricketing side of this trip, how much have you enjoyed your first tour to Pakistan?
Yeah, it's been an interesting tour. It's a shame that we haven't been able to get out of the hotels, but the people here have been so nice to us, and we've experienced obviously 3 different cities now, and I've enjoyed every one of them, so it's been good.
Can I take you back, before we get on to the cricket here, can I take you back to that difficult period in your career? Everyone goes through it, but your difficult period was between Hobart Test match and the Manchester Test match, for your 9th and 10th Test match. How troublesome was it for you, that period?
Yeah, it was tough. There were days when I didn't think I was going to play cricket anymore. I would get back to full fitness and then play one game and my back would spasm again. I trained really hard in that period, and just unfortunate, I suppose, that I couldn't get back on the park. It took a lot of scans and a few injections to get myself back into the right place. And with the help of the England medical staff, Jimmy, Stokes, Baz, I've got myself back into a really good place and now thriving in this environment.
John Lewis, after that Hobart Test match, was fairly critical of you openly in the press, in the media, about your fitness levels. Do you think that was warranted? Do you think that was right? Do you think that was the kick up the backside you needed?
I don't think I've ever needed a kick up the backside. I've known what I needed to do. But I think people don't understand county cricket is very different from international cricket, and it just maybe took me too long to get myself where I needed to be for international cricket. And the other side of that, me and John Lewis had a very honest relationship. I knew what he said was true before he came out in public and said it. We'd already had that conversation. So it felt harsh at the time, but in reality I think it definitely helped me get into this place that I'm at now. Obviously the injuries didn't help off the back of that, but I think now it's all looking up.
It's an interesting point, because there's a lot of discussion at the moment about county cricket and scheduling and how much cricket. Is it a reflection as a bowler, because of the amount of cricket you play, it's very difficult to do the fitness side of things? You play, travel, or do you look at yourself and think, you know what, I should have done a bit more fitness?
I think it's a combination of both. I think county cricket, like you say, you don't get many days where you can train between 4-day games or T20s. It is 4-day cricket and then travel. I think I've learned since being in this environment, that you have a lot more time to train and get your body ready for the next Test match. Jimmy's been someone who's been doing it for 20 years, and I've looked up to him since I've been in this environment, and he's really helped me over the last 12 months to get myself into this place. So I've definitely found that international cricket allows you to train more than county cricket.
So you came back in for that Manchester Test match, but before that you'd played a Lions Test match. And Ben Stokes said he had a trip to London with his wife and he was watching you on YouTube. How nice is it that the England captain is keeping an eye on you? And he spoke to you and he said he was positive and firm, but told you what you needed to hear.
Yeah, so before the New Zealand Test squad got announced, we had an honest conversation. I knew in my head that I wasn't ready, but obviously I was desperate to play for England. And Stokes told me what I had to do. I had to back up a couple of games of cricket in order to get selected. So it was just a matter of playing a couple of games of cricket, getting 100% fit and showing him, Baz, that I could play Test cricket again. But we spoke every few weeks, and the confidence that he gave me in his conversations was great. I feel like the relationship that we have is very, very good, very close, and to have his backing all the way through the summer, even when I was injured, was more than I could ask for.
And your asset with your height and your bounce for Manchester and Oval, the 2 tests you played, completely different here. How have you had to adapt from those types of pitches to the low, slow pitches of Pindi and Multan?
Yeah, it's been an eye-opener, definitely. I feel like I've had to bowl harder than I've ever bowled before to get anything out of these wickets. It's been taxing on the body and taxing on the mind as well, to know that you have to turn up and bowl on these flat pitches every day. But I think me and Jimmy spoke before the series that if we could get any lateral movement with the ball, we knew that we were in the game. We're obviously so accurate that any mistake by the batter, we know that we can get a wicket. So for me, it's just been about keeping lateral movement more than bounce, maybe, which is what obviously happens in England. So I've just had to adapt my game slightly in that sense, and I've used the crease more, studied footage a bit more as well of batters, where their weaknesses are, and set slightly different fields to what I'd set in England. So it's been a great learner for me, really, and I feel like it's going to help me for the rest of my career.
And no Stuart Broad, added responsibility. You've enjoyed that responsibility?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, obviously, me and Jimmy haven't opened the bowling that much this series together, but to have Jimmy at the other end, it's just such a confidence booster for me, and we've always made sure at mid-off for one another. So yeah, it's been nice to have that responsibility and nice to stand up to it as well.
You mentioned Jimmy 4 times now. It's 20 years to the day, December the 15th, 20 years ago, Jimmy Anderson played his first game for England at the MCG. It's a remarkable story, isn't it, that he can still produce deliveries like that he did for Rizwan?
Yeah, I mean, the bloke's a genius, isn't he? There's not many words that can describe how good he is. And I'm just fortunate enough to play with him at the moment and learn from him, and that can only help me in my Test career.
Mark Wood provides an extra dimension for you as well. When needed in that last Test match, he was absolutely spot on either side of lunch.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. I think for someone not to play Test cricket for 9 months, to come back and put that effort in for the team and for the boys was unbelievable. I think he's bowled 4 overs, is the most he's bowled in the last 2 months. So to come back, like I said, and do that, it just shows what a great competitor is, what a great bowler is, and what an asset he is to English cricket.
I've been looking at your stats and the people you get out. And I noticed this myself, and Rob Key did a podcast about you. You get good players out. You know, you've got Rishabh Pant, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and Babar Azam twice in the game. How much do you like to thrive against the opposition's best player?
Yeah, it's something that I pride myself on. When Baz came into the England environment, he said to me, I want players that can change the game. I want players that can make that impact. And that's really stuck with me since he's been England coach. It's something that I've tried to do every game that I've played. If England need a wicket, I want to be that guy that takes it. And if their best player's batting, I want to be the guy that's bowling and taking his wicket for the team. So it's something that I've really tried to pride myself on over the last few months. And it's always nice to get the best players out.
Talk us through the 2 dismissals. Have I got it right? First innings reverse swing? The skipper waited 30 overs, brought you on and you nailed it?
Yeah, so first innings reverse swing. And it was, I think it did him for lack of pace. I think he was thinking it was an easy drive and it's just reversed a little bit. So I think I got a bit fortunate there.
Send for Darren Stevens.
Yeah, exactly. And then second innings, a tiny bit of reverse, but there was obviously a crack down that sort of 5th, 6th stump line, which we were all aiming for from that end, and jagged back nicely.
I don't know if you saw the footage that we put out. Hawkeye dropped the ball down after drinks, and Rooty was pointing to it, and you being a bowler just added a bit of VAT about 2 foot further out.
So I was joking with the lads. I was like, I think this is where mine pitched, guys. Obviously knowing that it was miles away. But yeah, I think you can see from when we're out there that we're just having a great time, and it's nice to win as well.
And to get the final wicket, after everything that you go through on 2 flat pitches, to be there right at the end. They don't need that many, so the game is still in the balance. That must have been thrilling for you. Yeah,
it's an amazing feeling. Anytime you're in a Test match for England, I think, regardless if you take the first wicket or the last wicket, it's just an immense feeling, and this whole tour has felt like that, really, from the first day to the last day.
Difficult for you to answer this question, but do you feel you're going under the radar a little bit? You know, your first-class stats, you average 20 in first-class cricket. In Test match cricket, you average 19. In Test match cricket this year, you average 17. It's like, should we be talking more about Ollie Robinson? And where do you think you still need and can improve?
Firstly, I'm happy to go under the radar. I think anytime someone's underestimating myself or any of the English bowlers, that's when we pounce. So I'm happy to go under the radar and just keep doing my job. I'm paid to take wickets at the end of the day, so people don't need to talk about that. And I think anytime we're winning test matches, it's no matter what my record is or what my stats are, it's good for the team. I think Baz has got this culture now where stats don't matter. People are remembered for series wins, matches that are won. People aren't remembered for averaging 19. So stats to me at the moment don't really matter. I just want to win games of cricket for England, win series for England.
From where you were individually, leaving Hobart, start of the year, from where the team were at the start of the year, to where you are now is an incredible transformation. It'd be nice to just win one more game and have the perfect ending to an unbelievable year.
Yeah, it would be the icing on the cake. 3-0 whitewash here. No side's ever done that. I think it's one last push for all the lads to get there.
Congratulations, go well.
Thank you.